Hello, hi, welcome. We're going to have a quick tutorial today on how to make a multi-clip video or like a multi-screen video, like a music video, all in one. And some things we're going to talk about today is using Audacity and Adobe Premiere to accomplish this task. Let's take a look at, let's begin with the end in mind. Let's look at what it's going to look like in the end. So something like this, we have multiple clips here, we have multiple screens, and what's going to happen is that all of the audio from all of these things is going to be synced, and all of the video is going to be synced as well. And so as you can see, all the things are working together here. If you go forward in the video, you see that the clips change, but the audio, it does remain the same that way. So we're going to talk about that. So let's take a look. What are some of the things that we need to accomplish this task? You need one kind of high-end camera. The standard these days is DSLR or like really high-end digital cameras. Those are pretty good. And then also you need an external microphone. And so basically what you got to do just to make something like this is you just have one cord that's like an auxiliary cable. You connect it here, you connect it into there, you have a tripod, and you're good to go. And so, all right, we're going to talk about that. Okay, so let's begin with, after we've recorded everything that we want to do, we end up with a bunch of clips. And so here we are, here's a bunch of clips. I'm going to make them big. And so as you can see, I've got kick, I've got left hand, right hand, rhythm, and just different stuff here. And so the first thing you got to do, after you get all these clips, is you have to remove the audio. Because all the audio has to be by itself on its own track, and I'm gonna explain that a little better soon. But the first step that you do have to take is isolating the audio. So let's open up one of the videos. So here's one. This is the shaker, and what we're gonna do, the first thing is we're going to convert this document. So you go to Add, and where is it? It's the shaker here. So we choose that. Then you're going to go over here. This is VLC player here. We're going to go to convert, and you're going to change it from video. You're going to go down here to audio, MP3, and we're just going to make one destination file. So where am I? Let's go to second. Okay, we're in the third, and I'm going to call this shaker 2. And that's it. So then you hit start, and then you'll see that this thing is converting like that. So it's like streaming that audio in a way that it's going to convert it. So when that's finished, we're going to want to find that back in here. And you're going to see I've already kind of done a few of them already. And so what you're going to do is, after you've got all these MP3 files, you need to use a program like Audacity. So Audacity is a program like this, and this is the final version of all of the audios that are put together for my project. And Audacity is an open source audio editing and like multi-track kind of program. It's really great, and it allows you to kind of like align things. Like if you're gonna line up your audio, you can actually see what it looks like, and so it's easy to kind of line up like that. And so this is what the finished product looks like. But let's take a blank one and let's throw in some things. So let's start with the kick. I'm going to drag kick in there. And you can see over here where the kick begins, right? And we're going to say like the kick begins at a certain point in this song. Let's throw in the shaker, the one that we just made. All right, and I can already see that the shaker here begins here. I can see that the kick begins here. And let's throw in rhythm. Let's see where that is too. And so the great thing about this program is that it's visual, so you don't have to really know a whole lot about audio editing to know that if you want these two to line up, you got to drag one over, or you got to drag one back. So one thing that's really useful is if you hold Control and then you zoom in on the mouse, hit the mouse wheel, it will zoom in on the visual aspect of the audio. And so let's say we want to move the shaker over, we want to line it up with here. So I'm just going to click that to select this whole shaker track here, and I'm going to use my move tool. This is called the time shift tool, and I'm just going to move it over just like that. And if I want to get a really close match, I can zoom in more using Control and using the mouse wheel, and I can see it, really get it in there. Alright, so I can zoom back out using the Control and the mouse wheel. And then over here, I know that the track begins over here. This is like a click. And so the same thing, I'm just going to move that over. So now when we play this track, actually move it over a little bit. Now when we play this track, all these are going to start at the same time, and you'll see that they are all in rhythm together. And so that's one of the essentials when you're doing a project like this. You have to have all the audio line up first. Now, the reason that we talked about that first is because when you get into using Adobe Premiere, one really, I'm going to take the volume off there. One really important aspect about Adobe Premiere is that the videos go in. You're going to put those videos in different tracks, but the audio is only one track. And so as you can see in my document here, all of these up here are all the videos, all the video tracks that I've used, but there's only one audio. So that's the important part. You don't want to do mixing audio in Adobe Premiere. You want the audio to already be ready. And so we've done that with our Audacity, and as we did together. And so as you can see, the audio is down here. Now, going back, we're looking back at our videos. So here they are. Now these videos, all you're going to do with these is basically you're going to click, you're going to drag it into Adobe Premiere. And within Adobe Premiere, so let's pick up Shaker. Where is Shaker? Here it is. So within Adobe Premiere, you double click on that and you can edit it where you want to begin that track. So let's zoom out here. This is a zoom function here. Now, with the audio that's already been finished, once you throw that in, then it's time to align it with the videos. So what you do here is you open the video and you kind of go through it and you figure out where in the video does the video begin to align with the audio. And when you do that, you put in this guide here, and that's this tool right here, add a marker. And so what I did is I added this marker here because I found that like there's this shaking thing and that's where it begins. And then as you can see over here, that guide gets stuck into that video. And if we zoom in using this button down here, if we zoom in all the way, zooming is really helpful when you're doing this this kind of project. If I can just move over there, you can see that the audio begins here, and I got the shaker beginning right there. See that? So that's when you drag that in to make the video track. That's going to be really super super useful. All right, and then all in all, after you get started with that, so begins the painstaking process of putting all of your video tracks in here on top of each other and kind of aligning them with what you want to do. And then other video tracks that you end up wanting to add in there, you kind of add on top, and so forth. So that's kind of a general idea of what we're going to be accomplishing when working with Adobe Premiere and with Audacity, and even you use VLC Player to do some audio-video separation. All right, so that's the end of this tutorial. Thank you.